Just
Look, I think what's interesting about this is that Nina and Randa came out of their past experience with a positive and empowering message that acne is a problem you can solve. Mm-hmm. If you take responsibility and you work hard and you stick to this diet, which is not easy.
Right.
They came out with this positive, inspiring message saying this is a problem you can solve for yourself. And Unnatural Vegan, all she's got to say is, no, you can't. Go to the doctor. Trust what they say.
Take antibiotics. Take Accutane.
Get on the pill. I don't even know what the title for this video is going to be yet. But I'm opening by reassuring you that it is not clickbait. I genuinely agree with and support Nina and Randa on this issue 100%.
Yeah.
All right? I don't have to like their music. I don't have to like their education and career choices. I don't have to enjoy their videos that involve challenges, licking other people's bodies, or bizarre, thinly veiled pretexts for getting half naked and asking their boyfriends embarrassing questions. And most of the time, they don't even have a boyfriend. They get some actor to pretend to be their boyfriend for the purpose of the video. That's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is the clear skin diet. And the clear skin diet, my girlfriend is become an expert in lately because it is a very slight modification of Dr. McDougall's diet.
It's basically the McDougall diet. It's the same principles, but
right.
I mean, in the McDougall diet, some healthy fats are permitted, but restricted. Really, they're not emphasized in the McDougall diet. It's really a low-fat diet in the McDougall plan. But, you know, for example, Nina and Randa don't eat avocados, but McDougall sometimes can incorporate avocados.
So it's a slightly modified form of the McDougall diet.
And I have the book. I have the audiobook, so I'm listening. Yeah, I've listened to it.
Now, tell me, Melissa.
Listen to the lovely
Did you pay
voices
cash?
of Nina and Randa.
Did you pay cash for the audiobook to hear Nina and Randa in their dulcet tones, in their well-formed sentence structure, narrating to you the principles of their diet? Did you?
Me being the cheapskate that I am, I got an Audible Canada free trial, so it was free for me.
Was that from Amazon.com?
Yeah.
So you signed up for a free trial?
Yeah.
I think this is the only video on YouTube that is not a paid promotion for Audible that is mentioning this.
Right.
So you did the paperwork and you actually got this without paying a dime. I think through the magic of capitalism, somehow Nina and Randa will still get paid, even though you didn't buy the book because you got the free trial.
Right.
Okay. And your overall feeling is Nina and Randa earned that money. This is maybe one corner of their life in which they've been hardworking and showed some hustle and verve and tenacity. Right?
Yeah, dedication.
Right.
Definitely.
I mean, look, let's be fair. We've never really seriously evaluated their contribution to music or Taco Bell advertising, right? It's not our genre of music. We both just listen to rap and hip hop. But, you know, their contribution to the world of diet. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we can all appreciate that. And they set out, we both saw together. I found it a moving and interesting video. One of their presentations, about 30 minutes long, where they talked about the fact that they were going out and going to auditions and hustling. They had these terrible breakouts. They had this pretty brief period of their life with really extreme acne. But I think you described it as either cystic acne or hormonal acne.
Yeah, both.
Both. All the above. And they managed to get it under control. They did manage to, in effect, cure their condition by modifying their diet. Yeah. And what makes their story even more remarkable is that they didn't do this by becoming vegan. They already were vegan.
Right.
This is entirely about the contrast between healthy and unhealthy diets within veganism. And I think that makes it more interesting, that makes it more compelling, and it makes it more challenging. Mm-hmm. And that brings us to the topic of this video. Professional, contrarian, nincompoop, and nitwit, Unnatural Vegan has decided to pick a fight with Nina and Randa.
Yeah. What is up? Gosh, I was so upset listening to this because at the very end, she admits, Unnatural Vegan admits that she has not had more than 20 pimples in her life. Right. She doesn't know shit about this. She doesn't know the fucking heartbreak that comes with this. And I do. Like, I know what it's like to be on antibiotics for the majority of my adult years, of my teen years. I know what it's like to be told that you're going to be put on Accutane, you're going to have to be put on birth control pills. To be on birth control pills since at the age of 14. Like, I have just now, like, you know, decided to stop the medications that I was taking. I mean, I know it's only been a week or whatever, but... Like, you know, I seem to be doing totally fine, and, you know, I have been doing the McDougall diet, so...
It's a big change in your life.
Yeah, it's a huge change, and, like, it's... From someone that has no experience with this, it really seems in poor taste for her to be making these claims that the diet is dangerous, to say that...
So let's just start with a general statement of principle. Mm-hmm. It is true there are some people who dismiss all medication just because it is medication. And that's a problem, right?
Yes.
So, and you know what? I brought this up when we were talking about antidepressants, another hot button topic with Unnatural Vegan. I have many videos on this channel, and the most important ones I don't even speak in, where I'm just presenting the views of experts who dedicated decades of their lives to talking about antidepressants. Antidepressants, SSRIs, such as Prozac, are examples of debunked pseudoscience, and they have very serious negative side effects. However, that doesn't mean that all mind-altering drugs, or all medication of this type, or all psychiatric medication has been debunked. A really interesting contrast are actually the drugs given to cocaine addicts and heroin addicts, and opiate addicts, people who've become addicted, to help them transition, to help them quit without going through tremors and seizures and fits, to ease the pain of withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah.
That's something you can test empirically. Mm-hmm. That is the realm of science, in a sense, that goes back to Sextus Empiricus in ancient Rome and Athens. This is really the great European tradition of let's get out our calipers, let's get out our calipers and measure what the difference is through observation and computation, and we figure out what works and what doesn't. So there are some people who have a blanket hostility to modern medical science, and even to vitamins, and even to, you know, really legitimate medicine that can make a positive difference in your life, right?
Yeah.
But at the other end, at the opposite extreme, and we know Unnatural Vegan in our own personal life was like a pendulum that swung from one extreme to the other. You have people dismissing really serious side effects.
Yep.
SSRI antidepressants like Prozac have serious side effects. Mm-hmm. Taking an SSRI during pregnancy has really serious side effects. Accutane.
Very serious side effects that she completely brushes off in this video.
You can read the label! Yeah. This is not a conspiracy theory. If you've read the current labels on Prozac and SSRIs, those are pretty scary too. But with Accutane, this is really serious. And I think your doctors, so you never went on Accutane, but you were being prepared to, and they were really talking through with you. Look, you know, this is life-altering medication, if not life-risking medication.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, at 14 years old, being someone who wasn't sexually active, being told that if I'm okay, so you're starting this medication, now you have to watch this informational video, sign these forms that you've watched this video, you need to agree to use 2 forms of hormonal or of contraception. You know, so you have to agree to always use condoms, and you have to be on the birth control pill as a female. So like, and you have to, as you take the drug, you have to be taking pregnancy tests each month. Like, you have to go in and get your blood test done, because this is a very serious drug. And you know, she just says, the most common side effect is dry skin. The dry skin is no joke with Accutane. I've seen photos. I know people that have gotten addicted to using, like, chapstick and, like, moisturizer constantly, because anyway, it is very serious. Extreme, There's joint pain issue, like people that have chronic joint pain after taking Accutane, changes in your mood, changes in, you know, suicidal thoughts and depressive, you know, disorder, and it's really serious. And most people that I've heard that have taken it,
you want to talk about a side effect that's easy to ignore: diarrhea. So many medications have listed them. So you just found out the other day, iron pills, iron vitamins, among the side effects. Do you want to know a really simple side effect that can completely destroy your life, completely destroy your ability to go on vacation or walk to the grocery store or do anything? Diarrhea. You think it's a joke? Think about the impact diarrhea has. What's worse, chronic acne or chronic diarrhea? I mean, it's a real question. But I mean, one of the reasons why you lately really stepped up your game in terms of diet and health, one of the reasons why you got interested in Nina and Randa's diet, looking at it as a version of the McDougall diet, was diarrhea.
Yeah.
And we went through this together. We thought, logically, we were going through a process of, I was going to say process of elimination. Elimination is a poor word. We thought we were logically deducing what the causes of her indigestion might be. Mm-hmm. And it didn't even occur to us that it was actually some of the pills you were taking, and that it even comes down to a technical matter of the coating on the pill. And when the pill is divided, you don't get the coating and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then, again, I think we did. I think we were aware of the list of side effects, right? But you don't necessarily think of it. You don't necessarily think, wow. In your case, these medications you were on related to acne, ultimately, both of them, because of the birth control pill you got on because of acne. It's not the same as binge drinking and then dealing with a hangover the next morning. If you get drunk once a month, that's one day out of the month. Don't do it. I'm not endorsing binge drinking. I'm really not. I'm 100% against alcohol. I don't think anyone should drink alcohol. Yeah. But there is something really different about the pervasive influence of a drug that you take every day, day after day after day, and that causes subtle and pervasive changes throughout your whole body chemistry, throughout your whole hormonal system, to try to achieve the effect of changing, it's like the rate of oil going through your skin. It's a very fundamental biological process to try to toy with, right?
Yep.
So, what are you going to say? Scientific optimism seems strangely misplaced and mangled in Unnatural Vegan's view of the world.
I know, exactly. And I mean, as I've been looking into this more, I've been so distraught and depressed thinking about the years of my life that I would go to a dermatologist and they would never say anything about diet. They would just say acne isn't dependent on diet. It's just your genetics. It's just what's going on with your hormones right now. There's really nothing that you can do in terms of diet. And I give Nina and Randa a lot of credit for putting this information out there. Even if it doesn't help everyone, I think it will help a significant number of people. And honestly, you're only making your diet healthier by changing to this diet. I mean, like, the McDougall diet is basically the ultimate human diet. It's like the best. Anyway, I mean,
that's right. There's a lot of guesswork that goes into diagnosis, and I mean, it's really a very different thing. If you're looking at symptoms, you're looking at diarrhea, and then trying to say, well, could it be caused by this? Could it be caused by that? Should you try this drug or that drug with this or that set of serious side effects to treat it?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about adopting a diet that you already know scientifically to be healthier, like, okay, we're going to stop eating things like chocolate bars that we already know are bad for us a dozen different ways, and we're going to see what the impacts of that are, then it's not really a hard sell, at least on an experimental basis, to give that a try and see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, and I just want to say, in defense of Nina and Randa, listening to their process in their book, basically, like, if you want to try to introduce foods that in the vegan diet that have a higher percentage of fat, like if you want to try reintroducing soy, if you want to try reintroducing avocado, they recommend that you have the strict diet and then you add things one at a time to see if they're trigger foods for you. And then if they don't cause any problems for you, then you can keep having them in your diet if you want, if you want to have these sources of fats in your diet. So it's not like, I don't appreciate that,
right.
Like, Unnatural Vegan just made this video by looking at some videos and looking at their website without knowing the whole process. And overall, I think, like, the basics of it are really beneficial for a lot of teenagers who, like, it will teach them to be responsible with their diet, teach them to, like, learn about basic cooking, because some of the stuff is just so easy. I mean, like,
learn to boil a potato, learn to mash sweet potatoes.
Yeah, right. Make beans, learn to use a pressure cooker to make beans, and so on. I mean, all, like, beans and potatoes and vegetables and fruits. Like, how can you say that there's a problem with that. I mean, like,
So
it is true. I'm eating oatmeal, which has a significant percentage of fat. I mean, if you look at the label, it's like...
So look, let me put it to you this way. This is not quite playing devil's advocate. Is there a positive take-home message from what Unnatural Vegan has to say about this?
Well, the reason...
Because her usual MO seems to be talk to your doctor, get a prescription, get professional help.
Yep. I mean, the point of her video is to say that you shouldn't just do this diet, you should listen to your doctor. There's a reason why doctors prescribed Accutane. It's so that people can prevent themselves from having acne scars for the rest of their lives. Basically, that you should not do this restrictive diet. It should be the last diet that you choose if you're trying to alter your,
Right, and her basis for that is just the fear that it's too low fat and nothing else.
Yeah, right. And she's saying that it doesn't have enough scientific evidence backing it up, which it can potentially have.
Look, among vegan diets, isn't the McDougall diet maybe the best, substantiated scientifically? It's on, yeah. Well, the other thing is, look, bodybuilders will say this to you, but I mean, I think it's something that's true enough when bodybuilders say it, when normal people say it too. If you have excess protein, your body converts it into fat. If your body has excess fat, your body cannot convert it into protein. And probably I am as heavy as I am right now from excess protein. I eat a very high protein diet, and I don't burn it all. I don't have that active a life. Whose fault is that? But yeah, I don't understand. I mean, obviously, Unnatural Vegan's to some extent just traumatized by her own negative experience with high carb, low fat diets.
Yeah, that definitely.
And
she was saying that like people on these kinds of diets will stop menstruating, like stop ovulating, like, and that was her experience. She had amenorrhea while she was doing a low fat, high carb meal plan, but obviously she wasn't doing this. She wasn't doing like lots of beans, lots of potatoes, lots of vegetables, lots of green leafy vegetables. And oatmeal is a cooked food. Yeah.
Right. But again, raw tofu.
Oh yeah, it's not raw. Everything that I'm eating right now is cooked actually because of my issues right now. But that doesn't mean, it also includes raw fruit, vegetables, and so on. So yeah, I mean, overall, I do think that you're right, that she's, a little bit scarred and that she's just...
Look, I think what's interesting about this is that Nina and Randa came out of their past experience with a positive and empowering message that acne is a problem you can solve. If you take responsibility and you work hard and you stick to this diet, which is not easy.
Right.
It's not an easy diet, as what they said themselves. This is not a magical cure-all. Right. This is science. This is hard work. This is a kind of self-discipline of eating this, getting on this narrow path.
Right.
They came out with this positive, inspiring message saying this is a problem you can solve for yourself. And Unnatural Vegan, all she's got to say is, no, you can't. Go to the doctor. Trust what they say.
Take antibiotics. Take Accutane.
Get on the pill.
Yeah, get on the pill. Like, I know, and I mean, I'm not one of these people that has grown up being anti-medication, anti-doctor. I always, my first line of reasoning was to get to the doctor and see what they say. But I have legitimate reasons to be skeptical about this for multiple reasons, and also what I've seen. And in some ways
now, you have a lifetime of regret.
Yeah.
And in some ways now, you're looking back and wondering how much kind of damage you did yourself, or just how many years of your life you lost.
Within the last antibiotics for years.
Within the last 6 months,
fucks up your microbiome so much.
Within the last 6 months, I've seen really the very negative side effects of the drugs you're on. They're not serious. They're not. I mean, they're not. They're not considered even serious medication.
Yeah.
But I've seen the impacts that's had in your life in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been terrible. And if you can solve this problem, I mean, it's not far-fetched. I'm sorry. Why does it seem improbable that you can deal with... Look, I lived through raw tofu also. I lived through, high-carb, low-fat has taken on these crazy connotations because crazy people advocated for it. Durian Writer claimed that you could cure schizophrenia through diet. Okay? Naturally, you should be skeptical about that. He claimed you could cure bipolar disorder and Crohn's disease and all these things, okay? But if someone tells you you can improve acne, you can improve or cure acne through diet, You're telling me that's so wildly far-fetched that no, you should go to your doctor and trust them. As opposed to, there are other doctors. We're in a free market of ideas.
One thing that
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine presenting a sweet potato-based diet, which is what Nina and Randa specifically, they live on sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Presenting a sweet potato-based diet as so dangerous that you dare not even try it, except as a last resort. That's the way she's...
Yeah, exactly.
She's calamitizing
it
this.
was so frustrating to hear her saying... Nina and Randa were born on a vegan diet, so they've never tried other diets. Like, what? Yeah, I swear Unnatural Vegan is really just catering to, like, people who are not even vegan, you know? Like, I think most of her viewers are not even vegan anymore. I can tell that a lot of people in the vegan YouTube, you know, demi-mod are not. One last word. I just want to say I really appreciate that Nina and Randa also in their book, they talk about cutting out alcohol. They talk about cutting out smoking. They talk about cutting out caffeine.
Right.
And these are all things that are so commonplace that really people don't even think about their effects on their health, on their skin, and you know, the skin is the largest organ in your body. It's going to be affected by everything that you put on it and put into your body. And being aware of that it's worth putting this message out.
All right, we're past 20 minutes.
Sorry, okay.
No, so I'm going to wrap this up. You know, I'll just say this. All of us have to deal with the question of what is healthy and what is healthy enough. If you are not an Olympic athlete, if you are not a competitive bodybuilder, then like me, you may make the choice to include some unhealthy food in your diet, and you may not need any particular excuses for it. It just doesn't matter that much, because there are things that are objectively healthy, and then there's a lifestyle that's healthy enough. Acne, especially cystic acne, especially the type of extreme acne Nina and Randa struggled with, it is a serious disruption. It's a disruption that makes you stop everything. Go back to the drawing board and say, okay, I got to redesign my diet. I got to redesign my lifestyle. I can't live with this. I have to get disciplined and find a way to live without it. And that's a challenge. That's a challenge millions of people face. And although I have my criticisms of Nina and Randa, again, I respect them for bringing forward this positive method.
Me too. I really do. And
I have no respect for Unnatural Vegan on the other side of this.
Yeah.
One.